and welcome to this new tutorial of the series Data Mining Concepts and Techniques. Today we will see data mining functionalities in detail. So you will get all the answers from today's session about the data mining functionalities. So what kinds of patterns can be mined through the data mining, that we will try to figure out. In this session we will see data characterization and data discrimination. Then we will see the mining frequent patterns, associations and correlations. Then we will see the classification and prediction. After that, cluster analysis, then outlier analysis and evolution analysis. These all data mining functionalities we will see in today's session. And at the end, we are trying to find the answer for the question, are all the patterns interesting, or can we take all the patterns which we have mined? That we will try to find at the end. So I request all of you to watch this video till end to understand the data mining functionalities. So let's get started. So data mining functionalities. So we will start with the characterization and discrimination. First we will see the concept or class description. Data can be associated with classes or concepts. For example, classes of items, that is computers, printers. Concepts of customer, that is big spender, budget spender, low spender, high spender, medium spender. Okay, these are some of the examples of classes, and below are the examples of concepts. Then how to describe these items or concepts? So we can describe these items or concepts with the help of data characterization and data discrimination. So descriptions can be derived via data characterization. So I know these slides are lengthy, but it is very important to make the slides self-explanatory, because there are many concepts and many examples for each and every concept. So I have covered all the concepts and all the examples related to it. So if anybody find that I am explaining less, so it is not the case, because I am trying to make the slides self-explanatory. So data characterization. Data characterization means summarizing the general characteristics of a target class of data. So characterization means summarizing in short. So we can summarize the general characteristics or common characteristics of target class. That is our objective in data characterization. For example, summarizing the characteristics of customers who spend more than $1,000 a year at electronics. Result can be a general profile of customers such as 50 years old, employed, have excellent credit ratings. So if you want to summarize the characteristics of customers, then we have to find the general profiles of the customers who have the excellent credit ratings. So from this example we can find the pattern that the customers who spend more than $1,000 a year at electronic shopping, that customers are 40 to 50 years old and employed, and which have the excellent credit ratings. Then we will see the data discrimination. So data discrimination means the comparing the target class with one or more set of comparative classes. In data discrimination, we are comparing the target class with other classes in the example. For example, compare the general features of software products whose sales increased by 10% in the last year with those whose sales decreased by 30% during the same period. So here we are targeting the sales and we are comparing the classes. That is, the first class is sales increased by 10% and the next class is the sales decreased by 30% during same period. For the comparison, we are taking the same period, because if we take the different period, then the comparison will not be correct. And the data characterization is the, what we can say, the summarizing, and data discrimination means the comparison. So there are different data mining functionality. The second functionality is mining frequent patterns, association and correlation. That is, we are giving the frequent item sets. So what is frequent item set? A set of items that frequently appear together in a transactional data set. Frequent item set means if a customer buys a milk, then there is probability or very high chances that that same customer will also buy a bread. So milk and bread is the frequent item set here. Then the frequent subsequence, a pattern that customer tend to purchase product A followed by a purchase of product B. So the frequent item set and frequent subsequence, these are the mining frequent patterns here. Then the next is association analysis, where we are finding the frequent patterns. So the example is given here. If a customer buys a computer, there is 50% chance that she or he will buy software. 1% of all the transactions under analysis showed that the customer and software are purchased together. So this example tells that there is a 50% chance, because there is a confidence of 50% given here, that the customer who buys a computer also buy a software, because without a software the computer is useless. So there is 50% chance that the customer will also a software. Okay, so the association rules are discarded as uninteresting if they do not satisfy both minimum support threshold and a minimum confidence threshold. So the next term is correlation analysis, where additional analysis to find the statistical correlations between associated pairs. So we know in association analysis the dependency is there, like the customers who buy a computer also buy a software, but how many percentage or how many statistical relation is there in between that computer and software, that we will find with the help of correlation. So finding the statistical correlation between associated pair is the correlation analysis. Then the next term is classification and prediction, which is very important, because when we are finding the pattern, we are using that pattern for the prediction purpose, finding the future values or predicted values. So for that we need to understand the classification. So what is classification? The process of finding a model that describes and distinguishes data classes or concept for the purpose of being able to use the model to predict the class of object whose class label is unknown. So if you want to find the unknown data or the future data, we are using the classification model, because there are two phases in classification: training and testing. The training phase is a known entity because it is based on the historical data, and the testing phase is an unknown entity because we are predicting the future. So the model can be represented in classification, that is the if-then rule, decision trees and neural network, etc. And for the prediction, we are predicting the missing or unavailable numerical data values on the basis of the classification or the known entities, that is the training. Okay, so the next term is representation of this textual data into the diagrammatical form. So here the youth age group has income high, then it goes to class A. The youth age group which has income low, that goes to class B, and the middle age group persons or senior age group persons goes to class C. So this textual data is represented in the form of diagrammatical view. So the next term is cluster analysis, where class label is unknown, the group data to form new classes, and the clusters of objects are formed based on the principle of maximizing intra-class similarity and minimizing inter-class similarity. The example is given here. Identify the homogeneous subpopulation of customers. These clusters may represent individual target groups for marketing. So in classification, there is a known entity, that is training data set, and the prediction is unknown entity. But in clustering or the cluster analysis, there is an unknown entity because we don't know exactly the class label. So here example is given. These are the clusters formed. 3 clusters are formed here, 1, 2 and 3, based on the grouping of data which are the similarity. Based on the similarity, we are finding the clusters, because these points are far away from this cluster, so that points are discarded in the cluster. So this is the cluster analysis, that is class label is unknown. Then the outlier analysis. Outlier analysis is very helpful in the fraud detection. Basically, the data that do not compile with the general behavior or model, outliers are usually discarded as a noise or exception. Because if the outlier analysis is done, then that outlier data is discarded, because these are generally a noise or exception. It is useful for fraud detection. For example, there are huge amount of transaction done daily in the bank system, but that transaction generally has a small or medium amount transaction. But if that transaction is very large, that then it goes to the outlier, because detecting purchases of extremely large amounts. So extremely large amounts are detected with the help of outlier analysis, and we can find the fraud detection with the help of this outlier analysis. And the next and last term in this data mining functionalities is evolution analysis, which is less importance because that describes the models, regularities or trends for objects whose behavior changes over time. The example given here is identify stock evolution regularities for overall stocks and for the stocks of particular companies. So these are the data mining functionalities given. We will try to figure out the answer for this last question, that is, are all of the patterns interesting? So I have already told you this is the last part of this session. So data mining may generate thousands of patterns. Okay, so not all of them are interesting, because out of thousands of patterns, the hundreds of patterns are interesting, others are not interesting. So a pattern is interesting if it is easily understood by human, valid or new or test data, with some degree of certainty and potentially useful, novel, validate some hypotheses that a user seeks to confirm. So which patterns are interesting or which patterns we will take for our analysis. So these characteristics are given here for the interesting patterns. Okay, these 5 characteristics are considered while choosing a pattern. An interesting measure represents a knowledge. So if we take the interesting patterns, then we will get the knowledge, and through that knowledge we can take the decision. So this is today's session of data mining functionality, which is very important. We have covered all the concept related to it. If you like this video, then click on the like button, share to your friends, comment below. If you have any query, comment down. I will answer that query. Keep learning, keep watching. Thank you. Jai Hind.